Okay, so today we're in Pontefract at Strong 101. We're here with a guy called Will who's going to take us through some strength and conditioning exercises, looking at sort of imbalances that maybe endurance athletes might have. So yeah, we're going to try and do those exercises and hopefully it's stuff that you can do at home as well.
Let's go and check out the facilities.
Okay, let me introduce you to Will. He's going to be taking the session with us today. So yeah, tell us a bit about yourself and what we're going to be doing.
Hi there guys, my name's Will. I'm one of the coaches down at Strong 101 in Pontefract and an ex-endurance athlete, believe it or not. So my background's bike racing, cross-country road, time trials, cyclocross, a little bit of running, and then I slipped back into rugby and got more involved in strength and conditioning, now CrossFit. And today the plan is that we're going to do some core training to look at how we can improve on the bike and with the running and prevent injuries, and then a bit of strength and power work in the off season, as it can really help to improve the performance in any of the endurance activities.
Brilliant, and it's the sort of stuff that people can do at home or at their local gyms?
Yeah, definitely. Some of it doesn't involve any equipment, so you can do it anywhere where you can get on the floor or standing up in a small area of space. So if you're stuck in a hotel room and you want to do something to improve your training while you're away, that'll work. And then some of it does involve a bit of lifting, but nothing fancy, no special equipment needed, just the basics, getting those things done, and it transfers really well back onto the bike or onto the trails.
Brilliant. Let's go. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so after a good warm-up, we'll start with this then. We're going to target the core, hamstrings and glutes first, and the lower back, which take a lot of work during the season when you guys are racing. So we're going to start off on the floor, facing the floor, and we're going to do something called a Superman hold. So that's where we're looking to lift the arms up and the legs up at the same time for a static hold, building up the strength in the lower back, the glutes and the hamstrings. Try and keep your feet together as much as you can and your arms as high as you can. So if you want to lay down on the floor, and then when you're ready, arms out straight in front, lift your hands as high as you can, and then lift the feet at the same time. All right, sounds dead straightforward, but it is quite a bit harder. You've got a really nice shape there. So we're going to try and hold that for 30 seconds. Try and keep your feet close together, legs totally straight. When you feel like you can't hold it for too much longer, slowly lower back down. Take a second if you need to. Doing really well there.
Yeah, might as well give up.
So we'll know when we're doing the biking in particular, the lower back takes a bit of a beating, so this is a really nice way of targeting that, building up that stability there. So when you're ready, relax down out of that. We go through that 3 or 4 times, each one for 30 seconds. How did that feel?
It's a bit cramp on my foot.
Yeah, feel that work in the right parts of the body.
Are we done now?
We go again. So next time, off you go, and raise those up again. Excellent. Try and lift your head a little bit as well. Good, and keep breathing. So nice and stable. Just starting to get the shakes kick in there as we're starting to challenge those muscles a little bit more. So this will be set 2. Hold it as long as you can, hands up nice and high. Excellent. And again, you can see the transfer across into swimming with this as well, building up that core, getting really strong. Excellent, and relax off there. So these muscles that we're targeting now are nearly always the weakest ones in most people, so don't worry if you're finding this quite challenging. Next bit we do is the glute bridge. So if you roll over onto your backs, we want to have, to begin with, the feet really close into the hips, shoulder width apart, and when you drive the hips up off the floor, we want to push the knees apart just slightly. So feet shoulder width apart. That's it, drive your hips up nice and controlled, push as high as you can. Now you might feel a stretch through the front of the hips, that's all right. A lot of the time on the bike the hips get really tight, and the same with the running, so we're opening that up. Slowly lower down, touching the floor really gently, then come straight back up. Excellent, and with this you do 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps is the target, but just keep going so you don't need to pause for too long at the top, back down to the bottom, and then straight back up, and again straight down, really driving the knees out at the top. So we've got 4 there. Good. Nice and steady. Keep driving the knees out. And you can hopefully start to feel that in your glutes. Is it working?
Yep.
Excellent. And again, lower back, so we're building up the strength in those muscles that we need. Now this will help with injury prevention as well. That's building up a little bit of core strength for when you're running and on the bike, so we've got less energy going into rotating and twisting. and more into that direct forwards movement. Okay, if you relax off there, okay, next variation of this, we're just going to change the foot and knee position. So we're going to keep the feet in the same place, but we're now going to clamp our knees together. This hits a slightly different part of the body. So when you're ready, keep the knees together as if you're holding a credit card in between them and you don't want to drop it. So straight up with the hips, hold it at the top, slowly back down. Feel the difference? Yeah. The faces tell the story there. Okay, keep that going. Try and get 6 of these. That's 2, 3. Excellent. And again, as you get stronger with these different positions, you can do slightly more reps. If you wanted to, you could add a load in by putting a plate on top of your hips, but keeping that focus on the glutes and the hamstrings. Good, last one. Excellent, and relax off there. So the next one, we're really going to target the hamstrings this time. We're going to walk the feet out just about that far, and then when you lift your hips now, you're going to feel it much more through the hamstrings. So lift your hips up nice and high, and then slowly back down. Good, feel a little bit easier? All right, and then the final one, we're going to walk the feet out just a little bit further again to really get into those hamstrings. So when you're ready, drive your hips up again. Excellent. All right. Now, if you find these later variations really tricky, for your 3 and 4 sets that you do, you can do them all with the feet close to the hips, and you can do them all with your feet shoulder width apart. But if you want to, and you really want to challenge yourself, you can work through those progressions. So you've got different variations you can take away there and do absolutely anywhere. All right, feel okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, core exercise number 3 then, we're going to look at the plank. People have done the plank for hours and hours before. We're not going to do that. We're going to focus on 10 seconds of really high quality planking, really trying to engage the deep core muscles, keeping you stable. If you imagine in that bike position, you spend a lot of time there. If you watch top riders, they're not rocking around or moving anywhere, and the same with runners, everything's just nice and straight. So we're going to try and lock that in as get as strong as we can there, and then we're going to add in a bit of distraction with the band. You can pick these up all over the place online. Dead cheap and easy to carry around with you as well. So if you want to drop down onto the floor, set up into the normal plank position on your elbows. You can do this on your hands if you find it really tricky. And then once you're up in that plank position, I want us to imagine that we've got a piece of rope between the elbows and the toes, and we want to get some slack into that rope. So we're going to squeeze the elbows towards the toes. When you engage, we'll have a 10-second hold. So ready? 3, 2, 1. Squeeze towards your toes with your elbows, pull them in, tight as you can with your core. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now if you need to, you can come down or you can stay up in the plank at that point, and then you repeat this 3 or 4 times, building up the length of time that you can keep that maximal contraction on the muscles. So when you're ready, next 10-second hold, pull the toes and elbows together, create some tension through the middle, really drive them together. Excellent. 3, 2, 1, and relax off. Okay, how have you found that one?
That was hard.
Yeah, you suddenly feel the muscles really having to work, don't you, when you lock it in. You can stay in that position for quite a long time when you really have to pull in with the core, shorten that gap between the rib cage and the hips, and really targeting those muscles. So that's going to help you out no end. The next bit then is that we're going to use the band to build a bit of resistance into that and try and stay as stable as we can while the arms might be having to move. So we'll attach the band onto the rack, loop it through. Doesn't need to be a strong band. And then you're going to set up in the plank so that your elbows are about here, and then using one arm, reach across onto the band. So we're looking to set up, hold that position, grab the band, and you're going to pull it in, hold, let it out, swap arms, all the time trying to stay as level as you can, not looking to rock or roll too much from either side.
Can we go first?
Do you want to give that a go?
Come on, Max.
Right, so nice steady plank. Excellent, and then go onto one arm and then pull that in, hold it for a second, slowly forwards. Excellent. Again, good. So we keep this going 3 to 4 sets of 10 reps, trying to stay nice and stable. Doing a really good job there, hips aren't moving much to either side, nice and focused. You feel how your core's having to switch on each time you're moving?
Yeah.
Excellent. Difficult to talk while you're doing it.
Yep.
Top work, rest up there. Got you?
Your turn.
Reach a little bit further forwards on the band.
I don't know.
Yep, that's it. And put it in. Good. Try and stay stable as you can. Try not to rock. That's good. That going. It's nice and high. Good work. All right. So, yeah, if you find that difficult, you can do it without the band as well. You can just swap from one arm onto the other arm and work on holding in that position, because it is really challenging. But it's a really good way of targeting the core and getting set up so that when you're on the bike, particularly on the tri-bars, you've got that nice stable platform to then be able to drive your legs from. So it will help to be a bit more efficient. All right, next movement. Final core movement we're going to look at is something called the Palloff press. Not quite sure where the names come from, but essentially it's a rotation movement. In most endurance sports, we don't train rotation, but you're all the time picking kit up, moving things into the car, that kind of thing. We just want to stay stable, as well as being able to ride the bike or run. We want to be able to avoid injury. So this is really going to help to engage the sides of the body, the obliques, the small muscles that help to stabilize us on the bike, but also prevent injury. So we're going to use the band to rotate out, and then we take the hands into the center of the chest and then back out slowly back into the center. Again, it would be 3 to 10 reps that we go for, and then work through that for 3 sets of 10 reps. All right, so do you want to jump on first? And we give that a go. So you can adjust how difficult it is by how much you stand away from the rack. So,
Like that?
yeah, hands on there.
Okay.
Twist out with the arms straight in front of you. Good, keep your chest up nice and high, and then bring the hands into the middle. You don't need to twist back. So twist out, hands into the middle of your chest, good, and then back out. Excellent, hold that there, try not to rock. So stay in front, back out to here, back into the label. So you don't need to do the rotation back across every time, so each time back into that, good. And again, keep that there, back into the middle, back out in front, excellent. As you bring it back in, try and bring the elbows into your side as well. Good, and then press out, excellent. And can you feel how you're having to stabilise that so you're not twisting each time? Doing a good job of keeping the hands active. Do 2 more on this side. And we want to train the other side as well. And then if you do a full twist around, so you can let the tension off. Try and remember where your feet were roughly. Bring the tongue round. Excellent. Hands into the middle. Good. Back out in front. Excellent. It's not as easy as it looks. None of these exercises are. They all sound dead straightforward until you're doing them, and then all of a sudden you're like, I've not used that muscle before. I've not had to stabilise like this. So hopefully it won't leave you too achy for tomorrow. Excellent. You're spot on. Just keep your knees slightly soft. That's it. Good. Hands into the middle. Good. Looking up as you're doing it as well. Spot on. Excellent. Do 2 more on this side, and we'll spin it around. Made it look simple.
Tell which side's weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you tend to find there's always a difference between one side and the other with every exercise, don't you? So it's nice to try and target those weaknesses and get a little bit stronger. So we've done the core exercises, really good to work those in at the start of a workout. Now we can move on to the strength stuff and build up some real power. Okay, so next bit then, building up some strength. We're going to start with the deadlift, targeting hamstrings, glutes, back, all of those things to build up some power and also work on that range of motion as well. So starting with the shins, close to and touching the bar, nice flat foot, shoulder width apart. We go down to the bar, keeping the chest up nice and high, full grip of the bar, and the bar stays in contact with the legs right the way up to the top, chest high and shoulders back and pinched together, and then slowly hinge over, pushing the hips back till the bar touches the floor, and then come back up. Now, depending on your technique with this, you may want to go heavier if you've got good technique. If you're just learning and it's the first time you've been doing it for a while, you could use a kettlebell. or you can just use the bar itself and work on that. As you get stronger, start to add a little bit more weight on, but always safety first with this. You don't want to get injured in the gym. It's going to then affect your cycling or running in a negative way. So, nice and steady. If we start off with this, let's see how it's moving. Good. Excellent. Keep it close to the thighs on the way down. Touch the floor. Good. Try and take that noise out on the way down, so you're just keeping the tension on, so you're not going to hear a noise this time. Excellent. Back up. Slight noise there. Silently touching the floor. Good, good, good. And then back up again. Excellent. Final one. Good. As you get more confident with it, obviously add more load on, and you can add a bit more speed to the bar as well. So good work with that. Okay, so the other way we can deadlift with the kettlebell, Max is going to have a go at doing a few of those. With the kettlebell, it'll be in between the feet. So from there, again, getting the chest up, back flat, and then he's hinging up all the way down, and hinging up. All the time, you can see his back. He's keeping it really nice and flat, building up that strength through there. Top work. Good. Nice work. Better than the core exercises, that one. Yeah, excellent, top work. So, strength, starting off with the deadlift, we'll then move on to some more quad dominant movements now. Have a look at those. All right, so next movement for strength, we're hitting something that's a bit more quad dominant. It's a single leg movement as well, which is really useful. Cycling, running and swimming all use each leg independently. So we're going to work on that and our balance, so it's a lot of bang for our buck. The back foot is going to be in that position. The front foot nice and stable, trying not to wobble and going down to there. Now to begin with, you can start off with body weight and working through that, getting full extension of the hips at the top and then getting that back knee nice and close to the floor at the bottom. You can load it up with the kettlebell in front or with dumbbells at the side, or if you're really confident, you can even put a barbell on your back for it. So let's have a go at this one. First off with body weight, and then we'll give it a go with the kettlebells and the dumbbells. Good, nice and stable that. Excellent. Good. And can you feel that work in your legs?
Yeah.
Straight away, it's a really useful movement. Rep wise on this, we'd be looking to do 4 sets of around 6 to 8 reps to build up that strength, whether it's with body weight or with the kettlebells or dumbbells. And then I'm not looking to do loads and loads of reps, but it can leave you a little bit achy the day after this one. Nice work. Try it with the kettlebell in a second. Good stuff. Just do 3 on each. Excellent. Good. Nice work. So I prefer using this with endurance athletes over the squat, purely because the squat itself is using both legs, it's bilateral. With this it's unilateral, so you're going to get a much better crossover when you do get back out on the bike later on in the season. So let's load it up now. We've done the warm-up set. So do you want to go with your heavier kettlebell in the front position?
This one?
Yeah, so if you pull that up to your chest, flip it upside down, hold it like a giant glass of wine. That's it. So you put your hands on the side of it, not on the handle. So if you put, that's it. Make it a little bit easier to hold. Then back foot on there. So we go for 6 nice reps if you can. Good. Nice and steady. 2, 3, 4. Swap it over. Making it look easy there, no balance issues at all. All right, so next bit then we want to really target the fast twitch muscle fibers on this, so the kick for that sprint finish, we want to target that explosive power, something that you kind of don't focus a lot of your training on, except for maybe occasionally, but it's really important. So to do that, we're going to use the dynamic box step up. There's lots of variations of it. Everything when we're going for speed, we're looking to have a good recovery in between it and keep the reps low, but really good quality. So we're going to start with 1 foot on the box, 1 foot off, runner's arms set up, chest nice and high, and then we're driving through this leg, following through with this leg to build that drive in. So from that position, exploding up, control the landing, take your time, there's no rush at all, and then on to the next leg, drive through. So if you want to jump on there, give that a go. Really use the arms to build that momentum, keep your core nice and stable. Lovely. Swap legs, get 3 on each. Good.
Should I do more?
Yeah, do 1 more on each side. Good. Excellent. This is good because we've not got to worry too much about the landing and we're focusing on really pushing down as hard as we can with the front foot. Excellent. Try and get as high as you can. Good. Really explode that arm back, leg forwards. Nice. Good. Nice work. So after each set, we want at least sort of 60-second recovery, even though it's only 5 reps, which doesn't sound like much. We want to give the muscles time to recover so that it doesn't become slow training and just box step-ups. We want them to be really snappy, really fast. So lots of recovery, lots of time to have a drink. Next dynamic movement, obviously you might not want to put all of these into the same session because your legs are going to be feeling a little bit tired by now, but we're going to look at the dynamic lunge. So looking to go down nice and slowly, and again, explode, really snap out of that bottom position, change legs mid-air, land with control, and then slowly lower down again. All right, sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go then. So, who's going to have a go at this one first?
We do it together.
Come on, shall I go?
We'll do
Yeah.
it together.
Do it together, come on then.
All right, so nice and slowly on the way down, knee to the floor, and then using your arms, power through, good, nice controlled landing. Synchro, like it. All right,
We've got
nice
this,
one.
Max.
Excellent. Good work. Try and get your arms to go with the opposite leg, Max, if you can. Not throw them too. Good work. So again, full rest afterwards, keeping it nice and explosive on the way up, nice and slow on the way down, okay? So we'll have a look at some 2-footed movements now, focusing, these are a little bit more advanced, focusing on landing really well, and then exploding out of that landing position off the box and jumping really well, okay? Movement, the box jump off or the depth jump, really kind of quite advanced, kind of leave your legs a bit achy afterwards. So with you having a race tomorrow, we're just going to focus on the landing part. It's all right learning how to run, but we've got to learn how to decelerate as well and build up that strength as well to help prevent the injuries. So we're going to go from the box, and again, depending on how well trained you are, you can change the height of the box. We're going to try and land with as much stability and control as possible. Nice, stable, knees out position. So if you want to step on the box, give this a first go. Nice and slowly, step off, 2-footed landing, perfectly controlled, okay? So on this next one, let's try and get that chest up, Olympic gold medal winning finish. Excellent, nice and controlled. So it doesn't seem like it's that complex a movement, but we're really building that strength to be able to land with good control, building up that power, and again, it will transfer into your running each time you're putting the foot down, building up that strength there. So Max, do you want to give one of those a go? And then we'll give one a go with the rebound as well. Excellent, so he's nice and stable there. The next bit then we're going to try and spend as little time on the floor as possible and get a really fast reaction and jump forwards as soon as you land. So building that explosive power. Right, so he's got a target now on the floor where the mats are joined. No pressure now.
Come on, man.
Big long jump. Next target. And again with these 3 to 5 reps, good rest after each set. Try and minimise the time you spend on the floor here now. So as soon as you touch the floor, exploding out in front. So we're redirecting that. And go. Excellent. All right, one slight variation we can do with this as well as jumping forwards. We can work on jumping up. So this time when you land, I want you to try and jump up as high as you can as soon as you touch the floor. So we're not bothered about the distance forwards anymore. And up. Good. Really drive the arms. Get as high as you can. that's landing as well. Okay, so rest up there. Okay, take 45 seconds, a minute off, and then we'd repeat that 2 or 3 times to build that explosive power up after we've done the strength work. Feeling good? Excellent. Let's see how that transfers onto the endurance scene.
Okay, so for people that are coming and doing just gym sessions in general or strength and conditioning, is there any sort of nutrition tips that you'd give, any products that you think would sort of work well during and after?
Yeah, very similar to the endurance stuff really. The hydration's a big thing. You're going to be in the gym for 45 minutes to an hour at the most, so you definitely want to be staying hydrated and making sure you're hydrated before your sessions.
Yeah, stuff like hydrotabs.
Definitely, and getting those minerals in there is really important. You don't want to be starting to cramp up on the drive home, that's not much fun. So that's really going to help out. And then I think the big one is post-workout, especially when it's something that's new and a bit different. You always get those DOMs afterwards.
Yeah.
So to try and minimise that, you're still going to get them a bit, but something with some carbohydrates and protein in, like the OTE recovery drinks and like the bars, is really going to help out with that one. Drinks are super convenient and you get your hydration at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So the OT shake's got 25 grams of protein in, serving of carbohydrates and some vitamins and minerals. So in terms of a recovery shake that's going to give you everything you need after, then it's pretty good. And I'm probably going to have one of these now then.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, you've got a race to be ready for.